Hello, ladies. So today we're gonna do something a little bit different. It's Saturday. I'm always here Saturday, 2 o'clock, doing a recording around now. And this week I was doing a lot of thinking. I know we're supposed to be doing something different. And then if you're listening to this, then maybe perhaps we're doing supposed to be doing the workouts on demand, or maybe you're listening to this because you like the title. We normally do a strength exercise right around now, and I do old school training with the clients. And what I want to do is share with you ladies is that, and I get asked a lot by people about stretching. And as a trainer, I'm not a yoga trainer. I'm going to give you a amazing little flow, a little thing that I do, and I'm going to go into different exercises that I think that you might benefit from. But this is a nice little session that we're going to go through full body stretch. And I figured since this is a long weekend, it might be some time that you might have some extra time available to you to actually just go through this and stretch out your body completely. So if you're experiencing tight back pain, neck pain, hip pain, you're feeling really, really tight, these are all things that we need to work on a regular basis. But we're going to do this. We won't call it a flow because I'm not really a yoga instructor, but I'm going to combine stretching with mobility. I'm going to give you my Sunday routine. I'm going to do my Sunday routine right here with you right now. I'm estimating about 20 minutes. It could take a bit longer depending how we feel. I might throw some band work in there as well, because at the end of the day, it's nice to do some stretching, but we need to do mobility and work the joints through the range of motion. And we also need to strengthen our joints a little bit too. So what you're going to need is a bench, a deck, a ball, whatever you might have out there, and we'll put these together. And I'm going to do my very best to give you something that might resemble a good, nice, quick, stretch that you can move on with your day and maybe combine it with something like walking. All right. So I'm going to do mine in my bare feet and keep the shorts on, save you from seeing my legs. I'm kidding. But go ahead and get that done now. Pause if you have to pause. And the first little bit I usually probably recommend before we move would probably be about a good 10 to 15 minutes that we're going to be doing some stretching, and then I'm going to be getting into some mobility work that you can do to loosen up the hips and everything else. All right. So on your watches, go ahead and put yoga on as the exercise choice, and I'm going to get set up. Give me 1 second. All right, so we're back. I'm just all set up. Actually took some time to write it all out so I wouldn't forget anything. And again, this is not me being a yoga teacher. This is me bringing you through a routine that I like to do to work on loosening up my hips and everything else, right? So let's start off by taking 5 deep breaths and just let our body relax a little bit to get into this, all right? So let's just do this. Breathe it in and breathe it out. Breathe it in and breathe it out. Good. Breathe in and breathe out. Good. Getting a little bit blurry here. Give me 1 second. Hopefully we're fine. Sorry, guys. Sometimes it gets blurry on me when we get low. All right. So let's get nice and wide. Okay. And then from here, all we're going to do is position our front foot forward, and we're getting to a basic warrior one. Okay. So we're going to bring it in, push the knees out into a nice position where we get into a nice long stretch. And we're going to hold here for about 30 seconds. Okay. All right. And then we're going to get into a single arm pose and then a reverse warrior. And what I'm doing here is I'm just putting my emphasis on the weight on that front heel, leaning forward and keeping that knee out. Really good hip opener. And then from here, we're going to do a reverse warrior. So we're going to come up and come up as high as we can and lean back. Good. You're going to feel that. You feel that on the inner thighs. You feel that on the hip. Love this one, reverse warrior. And then we're going to come back into warrior. Okay, and then we're just going to stack. So we're going to come through and reach overhead. Just reach down to the toes. That's it. Beautiful. And then from here, I'm going to bring the hand up over top, stacking my hands. And I'm just going to lean back and look up. Now, if you can't straighten that leg like I have, slight bend in the knee works just fine. So I have to move through some substitutions for you. Beautiful. Hold. And then we're going to come back into warrior one. Leaning in for a few seconds. Beautiful. And then back to a reverse warrior, bringing it back up. and stretching. And I'm reaching back and touching, trying to open up everything from the hips up to my fingertips. Good. And then we're going to come back one more time over and reach over top. That's it. And square the shoulders. Yep, to the camera. Opening up nice and wide. Good. And now bring your hand up overhead, stack the fingers, and then lean back and look upward. That's it. Now from here, what I like to do is I like to come down into a lunge position or Spider-Man lunge. Okay, plank. What we call it. Going to keep that knee off the ground, but if it's too much, you can definitely put that knee on the ground. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do some little circles with my back foot. And this is for my ankle mobility. Other way. Get a little bit of flexion in the toes. You stretch the bottom of the feet. That's good. Okay, we should be good here. Now, I've noticed in this position, we drop the knee down and we drop the back of the foot down, is I find that this position is really good. I really open up my hip flexors here, but it's different for everybody. If you can't get all the way down, you're welcome to just put the knee on and push through like this. But what I'm going to do in this position is I'm going to bring my chest over top of my foot, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to lean forward and push that knee over top of that foot. And what that's going to do is I'm going to pull that foot down. Now I'm improving my ankle mobility in here, right? And it works on the calves and it really does make a big difference in our ability to do things like squats, bend and touch things. So, and obviously you're going to get that hip flexor work in, push, push, push. Now we're going to take the arm off the knee, and I'll show you how that looks. So we're going to come in, arm is on the inside now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop this hip to the mat and lean in. And as I do that, I'm going to open that foot up. I'm going to lift it up and open it up. And I'm going to twist my spine and upper body. So I'm looking at the roof or the ceiling, and I'm dropping that hip. Beautiful. Hold here. And breathe. That's it. Beautiful. Now we're going to come back inside, and what we're going to do is push forward and try to touch those toes. Straighten that back. So you might be like me, need some help, and we're just going to touch the toes. That's it, like that. Maybe you can reach, keep that back straight. Good. And pull up. Beautiful. And hold that. That's it. And then bring that forward again. Excellent. Now we're going to come back up on our toes. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we're going to change the pose by just coming to the middle and bending at the hips, stretching the back of our legs. And we're going to move into doing everything we just did in reverse. That's it. Hold. Push the hips back. And great. Now we're just going to come up into the other side. So now I'm ready to do warrior one on the other side, pushing that knee out. And again, there might be correct ways to do this. I'm not a professional yoga instructor. I just know what I like to do when I stretch. And my mindset is trainer / mobility / flexibility. That's it. And then bring it up. Reverse warrior. Isn't that nice? Feels good. I love this. Lean back, keep leaning. And then back. All right, and then we're going to lunge stretch and reach up overhead. My foot facing this way, one foot facing you. Shoulders, I'm trying to tilt my body towards the camera and then reach up overhead. And this is really going to challenge your upper body mobility and your shoulder mobility. If it's poor, it's going to get better. Never be afraid to be a beginner. Beautiful. And then from here, we're going to straighten it up, stack our arms, look up, and lean back. That's it. And breathe. And then back up. Beautiful. Lean out for a little bit. Excellent. And breathe. And when I'm doing this, I kind of try to just let my mind be empty. Just do nothing, no thinking, no problems. And just focus on the muscles being stretched. And even though it hurts, it kind of feels good. Beautiful. Back out. And then we go. Let's go. That's it. Lots of stretching left to do. Beautiful. And stack. The hands look back. Going to challenge your balance a little bit. There we go. And breathe. We got it. We got this. And bring it down. And we're not going to drop that knee unless you have to. And we're going to do some circles here. That's it. Just working out that ankle, strengthening it, increasing the range of motion, other way. Beautiful. Excellent. Keep going. And now we're going to drop the knee down, top of the foot down. I'm going to bring that foot in. And remember, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my chest over top of my knee, grab my ankle, see here, and we're going to grab here and lean forward onto our knee or our thigh. And we're going to push that knee out over top of that foot. And keeping that heel down, it's going to strengthen the back of the calf or the lower part by the ankle, the shoulder, and that's when we get tight, right? And increase our ankle mobility. Now we're going to release that, bring the other hand in. So now both hands are inside my knee. And I'm going to turn and twist my upper body and look at the roof or the feet. Okay, and I'm going to drop this little hip down to the ground. Beautiful. Excellent. Keep going. A few more seconds. And back. Stretch it out. All right. So I might not get the full stretch I'm looking for here. Go back. I'm just trying to keep my back straight. That's what I'm trying to do here as I stretch out my hamstrings. Beautiful. And then bring that back into the hurdle stretch. Get nice and low. Now, if you can get low, I can get lower because of the doomers fall. Feel free to go ahead and get nice and low. Now, there's another part I'm going to add right here for the more advanced people. You don't have to do it. I didn't do it the first round, but I just thought I'll show you now. So stay down there if you can. But if you can reach back and grab that foot and stretch out the quad or the front of the thigh and push your hip down into the mat. Now, a lot of people won't be able to do it. It'll be tough on the knee at first, but once you become more pliable, it's much better. It's easier. But if you can't do it, just stay low as that goes. Let's bring it back. All right. Now we're going to do something a little bit different here. Now we're going to break into some hip mobility. So one of the things I like to do is called the rocking abductor. And we're going to bring one leg out to the side, then the other leg out to the side. And what we're going to do is we're just going to push forward and back. First, we'll do it standing or kneeling rather. And then the second we'll do into child pose. Okay. And we're going to rock. And this is for people that are really, 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 really tight hips. All right. So leg comes out to the side. I'm going to sit down and I'm going to push forward, foot down, push down and forward. So this is where I'm talking about where we flow from yoga and I put on my trainer cap and we get into some mobility. Okay. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, I won't do all the way down, but I'm going to show you what to do because you're going to see the top of my head and on my face. If you get into a child pose, you're going to get into a tabletop with the leg out to the side. And same thing, and now you're going to push back into like a child pose, same as a child pose, but you have your legs to the side, and then you're going to bring your hips all the way forward as far as you can. So bring it back as far as you can, and then hips forward as far as you can, bringing that out. And just keep doing that slowly and gently, pausing at the top, pausing at the bottom. All right. You got this. Nice deep stretch. One more time. Excellent. Beautiful. All right, let's do the other side now. So we'll start up by kneeling, and then we'll get down into a hands-on position, up and through, and push through that hip. Good, and really kick that foot out wide, and you're gonna feel it in here. Now you might not feel much at all, right? Like I don't feel much at all, and that's when we get into where our hands are down, and we do that. And it just increases the range of motion. All right, makes it more challenging, and forward, and bring that back. And then bring those hips forward as far as you can. Now, believe it or not, I could not bring those hips far. I was right around here. Now I'm able to come through to this by just simply doing it once a week, every Sunday for about 6 months. All right, last one. And time. All right, so we're gonna get into a couple of different positions that are gonna help the lower back a little bit. So before I get into it, I personally like to loosen up my lower back before I get into these next two stretches because they could be pretty intense. Sometimes we lose sight of how intense things are when we do things regularly when you're beginning or someone first. So what we're gonna do here is we're just gonna, and you've probably done this a million times, bring that foot up and over top of the other leg. And what you're gonna do is twist away from it, use the knee as leverage and turn away. And this is gonna really put a lot of emphasis on the middle part, the hip, lower back. All right, warming them up and just getting them through the range of motion before we get to the next one, which is a lot more intense, to be honest with you, but super effective, and that's why we're doing. So cross, turn, and that's it. Look away, look away, look away. Nice. All right, so we're gonna get down to prone, which is face down. And the first stretch we're gonna do is called the scorpion stretch. And there's a couple of different parts to it. So let's try it and then add the dimensions as we go. First thing is you're gonna lay completely on your belly. And when you do that, we're gonna bring the top leg over, and that's gonna open up the hip, lower back. And also I like is it does the upper pec as well. So it's like a door stretch, and it stretches underneath the pec, allowing for those shoulders to come back. And for those with tight shoulders, this is an amazing activity to put into, especially for people that are sitting all day in a chair. All right, so it looks like this. I'm gonna come down a little bit. Now my back hand, I'll do this side first. My arm is straight. My other arm on the other side looks like this. So this is what my other arm on the other side looks like, because I'm gonna use this for leverage, okay? I'm gonna bring this out, okay? This is it, as you can see the elbows here, and then I'm going to bring my leg that's with the same leg that's got leverage on it. I'm gonna bring it behind my body and try to make the foot flat and open up my hips to the ceiling. Okay, now if you're doing that and you're finding, oh my God, this hurts my shoulder too much, see my hand here? I'm not sure if you can see it. See the hand? Turn it upside down, and that will open up that shoulder if you're getting too much pain in the shoulder while you're doing that. And then take the hand you're using for leverage and push those hips up towards the sky. Push them up towards the hips. Open up the hips, that's it. And now you feel that in the shoulder. It's a fantastic stretch for the shoulder. Good. And now we're going to add a little bit extra. So if you're not comfortable doing this next one, please don't do it. But if you want to give it a little extra, reach back, grab the ankle, and pull it back. Now you're stretching your shoulders, your hips, your hip flexors, the front of the thighs, the lower part of the back. Fantastic. Like right next to child pose is probably one of my favorites. Right there. And time. Let's bring that back. So now you're going to see the other side for me. So we're going to bring it out, turn that over, and I'm going to use this hand here for leverage, and I'm going to push my shoulder into the mat, opening my hips up, trying to get them square to that root, okay? So again, stay in this position. You might feel tight. If it's tight on that shoulder, again, take this hand, instead of facing down into the ground, face that hand up into the air, okay? And now we're going to add that dimension to it that we talked about. We're going to reach back, grab our ankle, and open up the hip a little bit more. And you can see yourself, you can really open up more. Great stretch, especially if you're about to do things like, I don't know, walk, work out, meditate, Hell, even if you ever golf or go for it. A great one. Opens up everything. Beautiful. Let's come back in here. A little bit of a flow again. We're going to come up into a cobra and breathe. That's it. We're going to move over on the mat. Beautiful. And then from here, you know what we're going to do? We're going to push it back into child pose. One of our favorite stretches. Oh, yeah. Child pose, pigeon, and the scorpion are my favorite. Walk those fingertips out. See my fingers? Walk them out. And then you're going to push through the shoulders. Now, here's what we might be doing different. Is that we're going to walk, but they're going to be angled. So we're going to walk to one side and then the other. Okay, so we're going to walk the child pose to one side. And push through the middle shoulder and breathe. And then walk it to the other side. Now, this is the type of video you might just do a little bit. You might do all of it. You might save chunks of it. It's completely up to you. But I'm going to give everything I got and everything I do. Beautiful. And then walk it over to child pose. And we're going to get into tabletop. And that's where I do my next part of the flow. So we're going to go from tabletop. And then we're going to come up into downward dog. Good. Now, I love downward dog for a couple of reasons. One, as a trainer, I find most people, they're tightest in the calf, especially the bottom part, shoulders by the calf. But these tight calves cause a lot of problems. If they're too tight, they hurt. You might pull up on that heel bone, causing plantar fasciitis, or you pull down the hamstring, causing lower back pain, right? So let's do this. All right, so stack one foot. So one foot is over top of the other, hip up, heel down, stretching that calf. And we're going to go into, obviously, a pigeon stretch coming up your neck. You're going to open up that hip, okay? So 3, 2, 1. Don't open it up yet. Just take that free leg, bring it up, and bring it around. Open up the hip flexor before you bring it through the pigeon. Good. And bring it through. Now, I should have mentioned this. Didn't think of this as we get into pigeon. But if you have a yoga block, now is a good time to do it. So if you find that you're up in the air and you can't do anything, a yoga block here underneath that butt cheek so you can sit down will help out dramatically. You're going to push that knee out, feet down. We don't want to roll on our side. We want to stay up, all right? And we want to come back. So I learned a good position while you're in this position, if you can, is if you want to rest your head, you can rest it with 2 fists, 1 fist, 1 hand, or 2 flat hands and hold, right? So you bring it down nice and low. And then we're going to be going into, I think it's a crown, but we're going to reach back and grab our foot. And after we hit our glute, we're going to hit our glute and our quad and really open up those hips. If you can't do it, don't worry, save it. Goal is to practice it and go through it a little bit each week. So we're going to come up, all right, and grab. Beautiful. And if you can't do it, that's fine. And the other thing you're going to notice what you do with yoga here is involves balance, and which means anything involving balance requires your core, right? The better your core gets, the better your balance gets, the better the small little muscles in your ankles and your feet and your hips, the better you're going to get at this. Okay, beautiful. Hold it there. And release, push back into child pose. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to touch the toes together and open my knees up a little bit. Okay, and then from here, we're going to rock back and forth and open up our abductors. We're going to open up our hip flexors. We're going to push back into child pose, and bring it forward as far as we can. And again, when I first started this months ago, I was probably here. Now I can open up here, and it's made a massive difference in my flexibility and just the way my range of motion is. Even as a professional trainer, it still helps. Push back. Again, one more time. So again, I'm combining a little bit of yoga with a little bit of mobility, right? Get that down, nice. And you know what? I'm going to throw one in here because I can, all right? And this is not like a professional video, but I actually combined a prayer stretch with the child pose and the hip abductor, and it's amazing. Do you want to give it a shot? Let's give it a shot. So it's kind of weird to get into, but once you get into it, it's going to feel epic. So we're going to come down on our elbows, okay? Cow pose, knees are wild, right? Wide, right? And we're going to bring our hand in prayer. We're going to push back our hips and put our hands behind our head and push back and arch the back. That's it. There we go. Again, hands in prayer, behind their head, elbows on the mat, pushing through the elbows. So I feel it in the back or underneath the arms, the lats, and I also feel the lower back. And hold. And breathe. Again, great stretch if you have a lot of upper back pain, lower back pain. Good stretch. And time. Let's bring it back to tabletop. And then we're going to do downward dog again. This time, we're going to use the other side. So I'm going to go to my right side now. Stack the left foot, right foot over the left. Heel down here. Back straight. Now, again, if you get tightness right in back here, the scoliosis, like a lot of us do, all you have to do is just, I can see this, I'm lifting up so you can see it. Slightly bend that knee, but keep the heel down, and you're going to feel the stretch go from here down to here. Beautiful. Hold that up. You know it's coming. Open up that hip. And bring that through. And down. Beautiful. Double stack, stacks, just full stack and single stack, whatever you want to do here. All right, and this is what I was talking about. So if you can't get into it, this is a good time. You can put a block or a roller right here, and you kind of lead on that. It'll assist you a little bit. So you're not feeling put too much stress on your knees, and you might feel a little bit uncomfortable, right? So I definitely add to the comfort. I was that guy. That's why I know about that one. Beautiful. And if you can, reach back and grab the foot. If not, just stay back there. Beautiful. Good. Not bad, right? Keep going. Hold. 5 more seconds. Next. Nice. All right. So we're going to get into some more trainer stuff, okay? And trainer type stretches combined with some more yoga. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to come down, and we're going to, again, since our lower back's all nice and should be a little bit more mobile now, more blood flow, we're going to try a different type of stretch. Something that you do regularly, and I'm going to add a little twist on it. You've probably never done this before. So we're going to try to keep both shoulder blades on the mat. And as we do that, we're going to bring that knee over, right? As we keep it on. We've done this before, right? Now, what I do, and I suggest to get a greater stretch out of it, instead of looking the same direction as your knee, look the other way. That's it. Now, as the muscles basically start to loosen up, the muscle tendons, the Golgi tendon starts to loosen up, you're going to feel more flexibility. So after about 15, 20 seconds, you actually work in the muscles to full range of motion, and you're ready to make things a little bit harder and increase the flexibility. Here's how we make it harder. Do you see that foot down here? That's it. We're going to reach back and grab that. And we're going to pull back and look away. So that knee comes around, bending over, shoulders on the mat, and I'm pulling up on this foot. You can't see it, but I'm pulling up on this foot, and I'm feeling a stretch all underneath from my ribs all the way down to my hip. Beautiful. Even the neck. Go. Beautiful. And breathe. And time. Let's do the other side. Okay? You get to see the reverse. Coming over, shoulder down. And as you can see, my knee's high, but over time, give it about 20 seconds, you're going to feel it loosen up a little bit there. Stretches the foot. Ready? All right. You ready for the hard part now? I am. Reach back and grab that foot now. And pull it back and look away from your knee and look away from where your body's point is. That's it. Excellent. Great. Now let's do some glute bridges. Always like some glute bridges. I was going to include some core exercises, but we might still. We might turn this, the way things are going right now. Yeah, we might turn this into a full workout, right? I was planning 20 minutes. We're already 28 minutes in, and I got lots to go. All right. Cross that leg over, push that knee out, and hold it, and come up into a bridge by lifting it up, pushing through the heel, squeezing the hamstring, Open up that glute and those hips and push down that knee. That's it. Up and hold. Excellent. Switch sides. Bring it down. Switch it over. Up and hold. Why not? Let's turn it into a full workout, shall we? Whatever. Why not? You can skip through it or close it if you don't like it. Push that hip down, the knee down, up, pushing through and squeezing that glute. I can really feel it right here in the hip flexors. It really starts to open up. Excellent. And time. Now, for the next one, what we're going to do, we have here. Okay. So we're just going to roll from side to side. All right. And just bring the knees side to side, open it, that's it. That's it. Side to side. Yeah, and that was a frog's breath. I'm reading my notes here. That's it. Bringing it back and forth. We're going to do some more as we go through here. All right, so we're going to do a 90-90 position. We get in a 99 position, okay? And I like this position. The bare feet's kind of essential because you can get you'll assess whether if you need a lot of help. Now, I've been doing this for a long time, and I can still park a car underneath my butt cheek, but you like to have that peak down. So we're just going to push down on there, and we're going to keep the spine straight. That's what we want. Spine straight as we do it. We don't want to lean back and tweak, right? So from here, we're going to take our hands, and we're going to up and then reach. Pull you on your I pull on my knee for leverage, and I reach over. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to push that glute down onto the mat, opening up those hips. Excellent. And then from here, you can always do practice some exercises where you're bringing this in and around and lifting. And this is just strengthening the hip flexors as we do this. Bring it in around. Now, the less movement, you see I still have a lot of upper body movement, the better. Bring it across the foot. One more time. And back and forth. Let's see and reassess how close we are now. Well, my bum is now touching the ground. So just that little bit of work and stretching made a massive difference in my hip mobility in one set. Just one set. So imagine you keep up with it. Let's do the other side now. Okay? So we're going to bring the knee in. This one's a little bit better for me, I think. So yeah, my butt's already on the ground. So I want both butt cheeks on the ground. This is a little bit higher still. We're going to push down that hip, keep the spine straight. I'm going to reach. And I can use that for leverage and push and reach. That's it. And this is called the lateral line. Your line here, fascia line, helps. Good stretch. That's why sometimes you do these stretches like, why does this one feel so much better? That's one. And then bring it around. Let's see if we have better mobility here. Bring it across and around. Definitely weaker hip flexors here for me. This is a lot more challenging to me, a lot more upper body movement as I do this. Good. 3 more. That's it. I've already gone off my sheet. I'm on to another sheet here. Time. Let's see how close we are. Oh my goodness. It's like almost 100% on as I sit like that, which is nice. Okay. So now that we've done this, let's work on some core work. Let's just take it up a little notch. What kind of core exercise that you do that won't aggravate your lower back and at the same time will strengthen your lower back and help you with mobility, especially in your hips. Let's start off with a Superman or a Superwoman, whatever you want to term it. And what I do is a little bit different. Most of the time you have your arms straight and you're lifting both at a time or one or the other. We've done that before. But what I like to do is to involve a little bit of things, just I guess activate more muscles. You're going to put your hands like this, so it's more in the W, and you're going to come up with your hands in this position. Okay, so let's get down to prone position, face down, head forward. All right, and then from here, pick those feet up, and I'm going to lift at the elbows, not the hands. Lift, down, and lift, and down. Good. Lift, down. That's it. Lift at the elbows. Beautiful. And breathe out as you come up. Breathe out and come up. Breathe out and come up. This is supposed to be a 20-minute. I'm going to give you everything I got, so why not? And you could just pause it or save it, whatever you want to do. And time. Now, from this position, if you want, you can. Some people like to get into, just a bit of a stretch in that body. I like to stretch it out. I'm not sure the name of this, but I like to just pull on my ankles and really arc my body, stretching a little bit different, and relax. Good. All right. I just threw that one in there. So as a trainer, sometimes we just like to throw stuff in because you're in the right form. You're already in the right position. So why not, right? So let's do some dead bugs. We won't do a lot of these, but definitely recommend if you want to continue after this workout to kind of work on your core. This is one of the exercises. First part of the dead bug, a lot of people have neglected to go right into it, is take that lower back and make sure that lower back pelvic tilt is into the mat. Second, we're going to break this into 3 parts. I'll call it dead bug 1, 2, and 3. 3 is the goal we're trying to get to. We're going to do 1 and 2 to make sure we get into the mechanical movements because a lot of people find the mechanical part of this very challenging. So what we're going to do is bring the hands up, straight up, knees up at 90, okay? And eventually, I'm going to show you, this is our goal, all right? But a lot of people do this while they're doing it, so they find it challenging. So let's break it up, all right? Let's just do one arm at a time. Good. And practice the mechanics and the movement of the one part, just the upper body. And it's not bad because you're really opening up those shoulders, which is nice. That's it. There we go. And bring it up. Let's do lower now. Now you can keep that 90 degree, just bringing it down one at a time. Or if you're more advanced and your lower back can handle it, you can straighten your legs. You got it so far? Now we put that together. So we're going to do opposite arm, opposite foot. So I'm going to start with my right arm and my left leg. And then when I come back to neutral position, I'm going to do the other side. Let's give it a shot. Ready? Let's go. Down and up. Down and up. Down and up. Now you might be feeling your core because we've been doing this pretty much just for over a minute now with no break. So if you need to take a break, pause the video, or just stop. No big deal. Good. That's it. Now we got 2 more exercises that I'm going to put into this. Well, 3 actually. And 3 concepts that we're going to add into this to make sure it turns into the full mobility warm up. We're going to use a band later and a ball. Not too far from now. So first, let's finish this step and then get into a bird dog. And time. Now, if I reverse the position and I go to tabletop and do the exact same movement, it goes from a dead bug to a bird dog. All right, so we're not going to do a moving bird dog. We're just going to do a standard static one, and that means everything's held straight. All right, so here's what we're going to do. Same idea, straight spine. I'm going to kick out my left leg. I'm going to take my right hand, bring it forward in a straight line. We're not going to hyperextend, just straight line and hold it. All right, now I'm going to time this for us. Look at this. Turn into a full-on session here. Excellent. Now, as we go through this, we got a little bit of time, 5 seconds. I often feel, unless it's intense, it's not really a workout, right? So that's why do we put on the watch? It's not. Sometimes I feel like, oh my God, after doing all this, it's not really a workout. I feel like I need to do more. And sometimes your body needs just to recover. Let's do the other side now. Your body just needs to recover. And this is challenging it enough where we don't need to, get on our bike and bike 10K today or do another boot camp or, those type of things to get things going. But by all means, if you want to add to it, my advice, you want to go to it, then I would just add to it and a walk or bike ride. Something very low intensity to moderate intensity. Good. Hold. Excellent. 10 seconds. And time. All right. So you can keep on going through, and this is a good part to add the core and pause the video. I want to add an extra dimension. So I'm bringing in my favorite, and that's the ball. So for those that have tight shoulders, they have, you know, because a lot of times there's trainers that come in and the client says, what do you got? Oh, I got a rotator cuff injury. I'm like, okay, that's a lot, but what part? Because there's different parts. A rotator cuff injury can mean the same as a bicep, tricep, and a forearm injury, all wrapped up in one. It doesn't really tell me much. So there's different parts of the rotator cuff. We're not going to get into it. But with this next series of stretching, you're definitely going to find a way to increase the range of motion in your shoulders and increase the flexibility while strengthening and lengthening all the muscles in the rotator cuff. So let's get into it. We're going to first exercise nice and simple. We're going to get into a cow pose with the ball. So I'm going to push out, cow pose with the ball. There you go. Get toes down. And what I like here is when my hands are elevated, I can push through and I can get a greater stretch in my rib cage and my chest and my shoulders. And let's come forward. We'll start with just the next level, not too intense because the last one's pretty intense and it takes a lot of direction. So we're just going to do a side stretch. So hand on the top of the stability ball, other arm straight down, and we're going to push to that shoulder. And you're going to immediately feel that go right into the chest. Now, a lot of people don't realize we're always in the forward position, especially when we're typing or working or moving, and our chests are slightly rolled forward. And over time, if you don't stretch, you start to stay moved forward, making things very difficult and putting stress on our neck, right? And time. Let's do the other side, shall we? So it's very important not to just stretch everything else, but stretch the upper part of the chest as we try to improve or reduce the pain in our necks or the stiffness in our upper necks and back, right? Keep going, don't stop, but just think of it. If my shoulders are always rounded, this muscle is shorter, right? These muscles are longer. It'd be equivalent to give you a visual. It's like a woman wearing heels today where calf muscles are short all the time. And when you take those heels off, those lengthen and you get pain, right? So you can visualize that one making sense. So this one. Now the next one is a little bit different. I'm going to put it on a 45. I'm going to put my hand on top of the ball, but I'm going to hold the ball and I'm going to roll it around as I push through that shoulder. And that's going to bring my arm through a lot of the range of motion, stretching different parts of the rotator cuff, okay? So let's get to the tabletop. Arm out at 45. It's not straight. It's not out to the side. It's on a 45. And I'm going to put my hand on the top and I'm going to roll my hand slowly and keep my hand on top, side to side, just like that. I don't know if you can figure that one out, right? Not so bad. Now we're going to add a little bit of, I guess, intensity just by pushing into that shoulder and then rolling. And you're going to love this. For those with bad or tight shoulders, you're going to go, oh my God, I should have been done this. Doing this a long time ago, right? You're getting everything I got today, guys, for total mobility and flexibility and all that stuff. I haven't even got to some of the stuff I want to say. All right. Let's just make it a full-blown everything you got. All right, time. Let's bring it over to the other side. All right. We ran out of time a long time ago. So ready, push through the shoulder. This is my bad shoulder, and I'm going to bring it up. And I so appreciate this exercise. So this shoulder, I told the labrum in, and then the constant inflammation. And this is why we want to stretch. It's caused arthritis. Now that I'm over 50 and I got inflammation in there for years, I got damn arthritis in my shoulder now, right? So I got to work on this a little bit more. And that's why I do it. Because I don't like living with pain every day. And I don't like my body telling me I can't do something. I'm in control of my body. With a bit of work, I can do freaking anything still. And time. All right, we've gotten from there. Now what we're going to do is get into a different type of stretch, okay? So I'm just going to push this out of there because we're done with the ball for now. And we're going to use a deck or a step. So another good stretch for a lot of people out there is this one here. And I call it the SOS stretch. It's really, really nice. I love it. You've probably done it before, but it is a fantastic way to get deep and get past this with glutes and get underneath those glutes. So what we're going to do is we're going to come up. You're going to get yourself something that can elevate the knee. It could be a block. It could be a yoga block. It could be a roller. It could be something small. And you need something to elevate a little bit. I'm going to use the deck and you can keep it at a low level, okay? So what we're going to do is going to bring that foot across the deck, the knee like that, and we're going to drive that knee down to the ground like that. You may not be able to get down. You're going to have to support yourself for a while. Or you might be like this, and then by the end, you're down like this, right? Good. And then you can lean forward if you want. Deep stretch, good. Nice. And time, let's do the other side, bringing it across. I've got one more for you after this. I'm saving the best for the last, by the way. These are my favorites. The next one's intense, but wow, is it effective. If you've got bad hips, this is something you need to do. Push forward, lean forward, straight back. You got this. And time. Now, two more things, okay? So one, you may not be able to get into this stretch, but we're gonna try it anyway. All right, so you're gonna need to, well, you'll see what I mean. So I'm gonna triple up my mat, 1, 2, all right, and I'm gonna bring it over to the wall, okay? And what I'm gonna do is I'll show you how I'm gonna start off. This is a really intense stretch, but if you can get this done, it's a game changer, especially on the hip flexor. So, I'm gonna start in tabletop position, feet up against the wall, and I'm gonna use my inside knee so you can see it. And here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna bring that knee up to the wall, and I'm gonna bring that knee against the wall and the ground. So my knee is flat against that wall. Now, this might be intense enough just coming up like this. That might be intense. This is something I've trained clients for and just getting distance here. But then we want to get up onto one knee, like that. So I have the knee here, and this might be like, it might be screaming at this stage, right? But this is like phase 2, and then phase 3 is just come all the way up, okay? And we're gonna stretch, and you're gonna feel that come all the way down, right? That's the goal. And to get to this position, I got this position, but to be able to hold like I'm holding now took a lot of time, right? And be able to talk to it too, that's a big thing. All right. Excellent. And bring that down. Let's do the other side. So the other side, knee up against the wall. Just hold. You might be able to do it here. If you can, bring it up into this. And then for those who are more advanced, you bring it up like that. Look at that, puppy. We don't have to do a cool down and stretch. The whole thing's been a cool down and stretch, right? That's it. We'll add one more dimension. Why not? Since we're in here, if you're in for the long haul and you're still listening, if you're still listening, you're going to probably do the next one anyways. There is another set of things that you can do after this, all right, to improve your flexibility hip movement, right? So if you have a band, if you don't have a band, you can shut it off now. But if you have a band, we're going to put it on. And what we're going to do is we're going to do upper body mobility and lower body mobility with the band. Now, one of the things that we need to do is we need to focus on the range of motion. So we're going to add a little bit of resistance on the range of motion. And then for a lower body, one of the things that most people are weak on is the minimus, which helps with balance, and then bringing our leg away from our body. It's called the medius. No, we have very weak mediuses. And if you have things like runner's knee, and I've had runner's knees for like years, right, off and on. And I find that when I incorporate this band movement that I'm going to show you right now, it's gone. Not gone, but the pain's 90% gone, right? So I'm going to teach it to you, and hopefully you use it, and you probably do it all the time anyways. We're going to do some external movement with the band. But first, let's do it with the upper round of forearms, okay? 2 exercises you get. This is for people that have upper body and shoulder problems, okay? So you're going to put the hands out, band around the wrist, pull the shoulders back, and we're just going to just open and close your hands nicely, chin tucked in, good posture. This should be the best posture you've got right here. And we're just going to do that for about 30 seconds. Now, if this is an upper body thing and you want to start to improve on, and you're not just doing a workout video like this, this is something that you want to do maybe 3 sets for 30 seconds, right? 3 sets. I'm going to show you another one in 10 seconds, all right? Keep going. And you feel that in the back of the shoulders. Beautiful. Now from here, what we're going to do is we're going to keep our shoulders set. So we're not going to come forward, not going to rock. Shoulder set, and we're going to hold that shoulder set while our hands are at 90 degrees, and we're going to push up and down on the wall with our hands spread this far apart, not angled in, hands open. So it looks like this. Elbows on the wall, find a wall, and your shoulder set and come up and you come down. So go ahead and find a wall now. All right. Even if you don't have bad shoulders, you probably know when someone has a bad shoulders and you can be like, look how smart I am and show them a cool trick, right? So elbows on the wall, shoulder set, bring it back. Ready? Let's go. Up, down. So we're going past mobility here. We're going into injury management, pain management, strengthening. Good. That's it. That's it. Besides cleaning your walls, you feel burn behind your shoulders. A few more. 5 more seconds. This is 45 seconds. And time. All right. So you can continue to do reps on that if you have problems with your shoulders. If you don't have problems and you have more hip issues, this is the baby you want to do. So let's put these up around our, and you don't want to use the heavy band. This is not, how do I put this? Like I've got the gray one here, right? So or in here, there's a heavy band, you know that. But this is not a muscle building set where we go head. This is about engaging the muscles and working it through full range of motion comfortably while you feel muscle work and you're not forced to dump hips, feet, or you lose momentum, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get back down on our mat, okay? Gonna make this a full hour and pump this out of there. All right. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna lay on our side. And normally you can get up into planks and do stuff, but we're gonna do something called clam. Our feet are gonna be tight in behind us, all right? And what we're gonna do is we're just gonna take our knee and elevate it and bring it up and down. Now, we're gonna do this for about, 45 seconds. And what you wanna do is, that's why I said you want a lighter band, is you just wanna feel that glute activation. You don't want it to, you wanna feel it all in there and work everything to help move that band without forcing, sprinting, grunting, using other muscles. Just nice and calm, opening that muscle and feel that contraction. And when you start doing it after a while, that contraction is gonna really work. Good, 15 more seconds. Then we're gonna bust into a fire hydrant. And again, you see the cadence I'm using, not too fast. My mind is on the muscle that is working. Good, 5 more seconds. And then we're gonna bust out a fire hydrant. I know, right? Like this helps my runner's knee. Yeah, it does, right? So, I have this blessing that I get to work with a lot of physiotherapists now. And I had runner's knee, and this is one that he highly recommended, and it works great. All right, ready, set, let's go. Fire hydrant. So I'm using the same leg that I just did. Now, one of the things we try not to do is, this is what we do. Sometimes we just hang our head as we go ahead and do that. Keep the spine straight. Kick it out for about 45 seconds. Let me mind the time as we do this. That's it. Out. Out. That's it. Out. That's it. Let's do 20 more seconds, and then we'll do the other side. There we go. 7 more seconds, and then we'll do the other side. We'll do one more on this leg, and then we're time. We'll do one more, okay? Why? Because you're still here and you're liking the work, and you're like, if you're already here, why not do more? We're gonna do a standing clam, so balance on one foot, make it more intense. So if you need something to balance on, have a chair ready to go. I'm gonna bring my foot up, so it's on the wall, and it's like I'm standing. So this is how my foot looks. I'm not leaning forward. It's literally just like that, foot on the wall, okay? So I'm gonna come forward, foot on the wall, catch my balance, yes, and we're just gonna bring that knee away from the body, and we're trying not to pull that knee in as we go. By actually pulling away from the body, it also works the opposite muscles on the other side so we don't dump our knee in, right? We're just gonna keep pushing it out, and you're gonna feel that leg starting to burn from the ankles, the knees, into the hips, as all those stabilizer muscles start to get activated while we're working our glute as well. Fantastic, these standing clams are great. 15 seconds, there we go. Love it, guys, love it. Love you guys. 7 seconds, we're almost there. Stroll over after we do the other leg, I promise. I'm not gonna add any more. I gave you almost everything I got. All right, time. So if you were my, let's say, physiotherapy client, I'm working as your PTA work, as doing your PTA work as your therapist, then these are some exercises that I'd have you be doing. All right, let's just get into it right away. I know it's time to go. Everybody, I got your attention for how long here? 52 minutes. It's a full hour. It's supposed to be 20 minutes, man. Paul Walker, what the heck are you doing? Woo! That's it. 15 more seconds. Good. And this is my side with the runner's knee on this knee. And I find through the form, true as I said, that when I do a lot of this work and I focus on the contraction, I feel amazing after it. And the knee pain, and I especially feel it when I'm cycling or I'm doing things like pigeon pose, really bothers my knee, right? This helps like reduce the pain by 90%. Let's go. Side, 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 good, side, good. There we go. There we go. And push it out. That's 20 seconds. 25 actually. Let's do 20 more. And push it out. We're 1 minute and 15 seconds from completion. We got this. 10 seconds. And time. All right, let's standing up. We're going to do our final exercise today, and no need to stretch because that's all we've done for the whole hour. All right. It's literally been an hour by the time we're done. Bring that up, lean it forward, and kick it out. Kick it out. Kick it out. Good. 45 seconds of this. Done. There we go. We got this. Woo! We got this. What a beautiful way. Doesn't your body feel good, loose? I got a little bit of a light sweat going on, not too much. Didn't burn a lot of calories. Heart rate's at about 115. But I burned, like, believe it or not, just doing that, 270 calories and counting. Almost 300 calories from a nice yoga routine for me for an hour. Good. And again, sometimes we're always chasing the pump and this doesn't feel like a workout. Sometimes the workout's not what your body needs, and time. Sometimes, and it took me, and listen, I'm not throwing rocks in the glass house here. It took me a long time to figure out that more is not better. Burns and chasing the burns and the pump's not better. Sometimes you just need to sit down, just like you need some rest and you go to bed early. Sometimes you just need to take your body and just direct it out. All right? That's it, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Last a little bit longer than anticipated. Hope you enjoyed that. All right. Still here. Bye, guys.